Hey, let's go to this screen. I was screwing with some stuff. Before I started. So because I was having some weird audio issue with the Sean memes. So oh yeah, another great stream. Hey Lightning Stripes, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yes, so I was thinking of starting the Wood Elf tonight. And I was also blocking out the ogre female here. But grab this one. Finally, someone making a meaty elf. Now this is the elf. This is what I was gonna probably try and do tonight. Sorry to disappoint. This is the concept though. Let's do fill with black. It's been a bit since I've done like some modeling stuff, and in particular oh shit, what did he... Oh fuck, I just overrode that dang thing. I didn't want to do that. That sucks. That's irritating that I did that. Oops. Doing good putting in butcher block countertops tonight for the home reno. That sounds cool. Crap. I mean, it sounds like some work, so actually that's not cool, but I'm sure it'll be nice in the end. So let's erase some of these. I need to kind of undo my oopsie here. So these are all the medium races, which I accidentally overrode the save of. We're getting things ready to sell, trying to move to Tennessee, around there. Cool. Is that what are you moving to Tennessee for? Just like work there, or just cost of living is better? Make sond now. What do I have on my desktop? Hopefully nothing incriminating. Where's ZBrush? ZBrush is they sold, or they got bought. ZBrush got bought. Pixelogic, the company anyway. They got bought recently by some other larger company, I guess. And nothing happened for a while, but they're starting to talk. They're starting talks. And it's going to switch to a subscription model, which kind of sucks. But I think I will be able to continue with my perpetual license. I just won't get updates and stuff, which I might be fine with. We'll see. Texture. Okay. Have you seen some of the Pantheon updates? Yeah, I was actually, we were just watching the Co-Carnage video. What happened to all my buttons? Are you kidding me right now? All my buttons are gone? Oh my god. Why does it do that, man? Is this one of the updates that I need to pay for? This is ridiculous. Oh, no, it's because I'm not... I know why. There we go. I was about to flip my shit. Okay. Let's make that more transparent. Charisma? Yeah, the Co-Carnage video. It was like an interview. They just did it like yesterday or something. It's on YouTube. Should if you haven't seen that one, you should check it out. I watched a developer update from like last week or something. They showcased their city building apparently. Oh wow, you're gonna go watch that instead of watch my stream? That's cool, bro. I don't even know why I tell you things. So unsupportive. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. No, it's cool. Yeah, it was like an interview with Co-Carnage and the CEO and with Joppa, and they were talking about funding and kind of the kind of what's planned for stuff in the near future and all that. So Lightning Stripes said, nicer environment. I live in Utah and they're hitting water shortages. Tons of pollution and the housing market went crazy. It's like things are getting kind of crazy these days, and it's kind of where is a good place to be for all this stuff. So definitely something to think about.
Make it chunkier.
Let's turn this down. No, I want to snap to. The wood elves are really thin. Hey yo, wood elf. Have you been playing Valheim? No. That's the survival game? I don't really play survival games. It's not really my thing, man. Let's do snake hook. The old snake hook trick. Could just pretty much make this whole character with snake hook. Snake hook. Sounds like an 80s power metal band. It's the name of this brush that I used. It's pretty dope though, yeah. For band snake kick. Close holes. Hmm. Deleted. Ugh. We should have like some snakes near a pit, and do like a Sparta meme or something. A little snake fight club. Can't tell if that's a being in California. Sometimes I can't tell if it's just a big truck driving by or it's an earthquake. I felt like the house was kind of shaking. It feels like it's still shaking. That's weird. Need to put one of those buttons on my shortcut thing or something. Hang on, let me AFK 1 second here. Oh, I didn't even mute my mic, so yeah, I was checking to see if anyone else noticed any shaking, or if it was just me being crazy. So I think it was just me being crazy. Crisis averted. Close holes. I think I want to cut this up. Yeah, I think maybe it's just me using the stylus, and I have a fan on, so stuff looks like it's shaking, but it's just me, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Freaks me out. Watching this watching this is fascinating. I'm art handicapped. Cool to see how quickly you're able to get the initial shapes. Yeah, I'm just trying to block it out. It shouldn't take, it can be pretty quick just to get basic shapes. It's always the the last bit that takes the longest. Okay, so wait, this needs to be the torso. This is the stomach area, actually. This is push that up a little bit. Kind of goofed on how I was doing this. And this is also, I don't need to sculpt this whole thing as well. This is just kind of, this has been my process. because it's all low poly stuff, if you remember. So this is really for my benefit to just get the kind of translate from 2D to 3D. This is kind of what works for me. Do you ever sculpt figures with clay in real life? I used to. I used to do ceramics in college and high school and all that. And I'd like to, if I ever have any free time to actually go out and do that, I was thinking it would be fun to take another ceramics class just for fun. So we'll see if I can ever do that again. Probably not going to have much of a buttocks being made of twigs. MCP Live Cake. MCP is one of the OGs. He knows the secret code words. I might actually end up, because I didn't actually do this for the human female. I just kind of took the male and made him female-y. So I imagine I might want to take some of the stuff, because like there is some, like the way they stand, like the way women stand, like typically anyway, there's like kind of a sort of a bow to their shape, generally speaking. At least, you know, that's what I usually sculpt, is kind of a exaggerated sort of shape, I guess. So I don't know. Idealized shape, I guess. I don't know. Try not to get in trouble with anybody. Sculpting green stuff on minis. Warhammer X is pretty fun. Some real talented folks make some rad stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the. Hi, Sean. I'm curious about getting more into some 3D printed stuff casually. I was thinking maybe I'll try and make some sort of M&M related you know, something that could be printed, then people could buy it, or we'll just pass it out for free to have people print something. I don't know. And that's also something when I have time, you know. So that's probably gonna go in. Actually, it's not gonna. Hey, Goblin. That would be cool. I'd support the M&M effort through buying some minis. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. We'll see. Oh. Oh no. What did I do? Yeah, let's not do that again. It's kind of interesting to try and get like a shape, S shape out of some twigs. Wood Elf hype. EverQuest had some miniatures created for their employees that were done by Reaper Miniatures. A goblin also, I don't know, I have it. Oh wait, I still have it open. Do I? Yeah. I was blocking out the ogre as well, by the way, because I was looking at the waist. I hide these bits. Just like I was looking at the waist, like, there's not a lot of space there. Like, so if we did, I'm just like, okay, like there's not much of a pelvis, I guess, like, because the arms, or not the arms, the legs go like right up, you know. We can talk about this more, I guess, off stream and stuff, but like this is the waist, and then like it looks like the thigh, like, I don't know, so it's kind of, it looks kind of high, so I'm just like basically like wondering where the belt line, how that's going to go, like UV wise and stuff. We could probably make work. I was just trying to block it out to get a better understanding of how that's supposed to look. But yeah, so, but I'm doing the Wood Elf tonight. If Zukan did a high resolution sculpt, maybe Pattis could print it. Yeah, he's got a printer. I know Rev Chumley was interested in printing some stuff too. What? You haven't been following me this whole time? Unbelievable. This guy. I'm actually painting a Reaper mini right now. Nice. Should maybe, let's turn this down. That's too high. I really need to change that song because it got copyright strikes, or not a strike, but like a claim on the YouTubes. So I want to pick something else that won't get tagged. Similar to how you did humans, female. The belt, I think, would be really high, and that would be the style how they would wear their armor. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing that as well, though, because like there isn't a lot of space there, because like the breast is right here. So that we got like this much space to really work with, and it looks like the rib cage is right here. So, and then the hips right here. So it just looks like the torso is very cramped, like compressed. So I'm just wondering if that's going to cause problems. Or yeah, well, but anyway, we'll probably have to nudge some stuff around. Maybe get a little bit more space in there or something. But we'll see how it pans out. I was like, oh, there's not a lot of space there, but the ogre, I think the male version has pretty much the same space, so we'll get it to work. I was just kind of like blocking it out to get an idea. Keith gifted a sub. Oh, lightning stripes! Congrats on your sub. You are now one of us. I've been following, just not subbed. Wait, no, that wasn't a sub that you did. That was a. Oh, that was a sub. Wait, I'm confused now. Oh, cool. I thought that was a follow. Awesome. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Goblin, for being a participant in the. Yeah, I guess I need better things so I can tell the difference. And so that I don't get copyright striked. Oh shit. And you know, dang, I meant to. I already screwed it up. I was gonna record with the other thingamajig, but I didn't start it when I started sculpting, so I've already ruined it. Soiled it. I've soiled it. Split. Let's not delete anything. I think the female ogre should be good. I think you blocked it out pretty good, but I would maybe have more belt space. Yeah, well, yeah, my plan was to like kind of do that and then send it to you. And then kind of just like verify, like, does that work for you? Is that what you're shooting for? Because I guess some of the stuff, like the more abstract body types that don't have that's weird. They don't have, like, they have clothing on and stuff. I just have to like figure out what's going on there to make it to read it, I guess. So that's, but yeah, we'll definitely send that to you, and you can like correct me if I'm off base on anything, or you want to kind of move anything around before I start on it. So. Man, those wrists are so small. Yeah, I was still working on it, so I was gonna send it when I was done with it. But since you're here, I was just kind of showing you. So still wanted to do a little bit more on it. For another large race, I hope they do something like an ogre-sized tiger guy. Dude, that's a good idea, Lightning Stripes. So like, I Goblin got his goblins in the game, and I kind of wanted I was talking about like because I'm a fan of the Ixar, so I was like, oh, I want like it'd be cool if I could add something for the next time we add a race in the game. And I was trying to think like how would I do a lizard race so that it's cool, but it's not like straight up ripping off the Ixar. Or would I even want to bother trying to do that? Should I just should we just try and make something else that's cool? Like I was thinking like a bird race, like an aviac, because I always like the aviacs in EverQuest. I was like, oh, that'd be cool if we had like an aviac playable race. Or like a tiger, like a I guess there's already the Vashir. So I don't know, but there's also someone was talking about I was watching someone talking about someone's like making a private server, a private WoW server, and he was adding all these races. I was like, oh, you know, it'd be cool is if they like play a Naga. Naga would be cool. I think I was actually I don't know. Oh, Keith with the gift subs again. He's got money. Thanks, Keith. Congrats, MCP Live. Got a shout out. Got a free thing. Where was I? Distracting me. Oh yeah, Goblin. Um, you being into the beast races and stuff. I thought you might be totally down for a Naga, like kind of helping me champion a Naga playable race. So it's like, oh, that'd be a cool idea. Maybe we have to chunk her up a little bit, but I really appreciate you being pretty close to the concept because she's super skinny. Yeah, I always try to like hit your concepts, and then because at least we can start there, and if you know, if I'm like, hey, this isn't working or whatever, we can see it and make that call. And it's a lot easier just to like kind of trace what you did anyway. So that's kind of my baseline. But yeah, I was concerned about the thinness of her, because like it is really thin. So and the concern I have is like with like if you're looking at the wrist right now, like you're not going to be able to really see any of that in game, in my opinion. But I'll keep going with this, and we'll see how it turns out, and it's easy to chonk her up as we go. Just making it like really thin. If you want, after you're done to stream, I can do some race concepts with some direction. I kind of stream until I go to bed. So of course you're always up late too, though. So I guess like I haven't really kind of decided yet. I was kind of like what I kind of want. I'm just slowly like mulling it over in my head, and what I was thinking of doing was kind of throwing some shitty concepts out, and then you could go from there, I guess. But it's not like I don't even know if we're gonna be able to get anything else in, unless Sean's like gives me like a pity race option. I don't know, but it's not a big deal right now. But at some point, definitely before mandrakes are playable, at least. That's my one caveat. That's not to say that mandrakes as a playable race is a guarantee. I'm just saying if mandrakes ever become playable, there better be some cool other thing first. That's all I'm saying. if you just bunched in an anthro race, could cover a few different animals over time. Yeah, I guess like because like one of the things I really enjoyed about the Ixar was the tail, and like I'm not a furry or anything or a scaly or all any of that stuff, but like it was just kind of like the animation was sort of mesmerizing and calming. I liked the tail. That's kind of a large part of like the Ixar looked cool, but like there was something about the tail and the animation that just like it was just fun to fun to play and all that stuff. Kind of like how some people play female characters because they, because of the ass, bro. I don't know. XR Tales was kind of a thing too. So I don't know. Yeah, I was lucky to get the goblins, so I'll be here to champion some other beast races for the team. To be honest, a deep gnome would be dope though. Deep gnome, deep one. Yeah, I liked a lot of that. That creature concept that you showed us like before like when you joined, like the snake person was really cool. It's kind of stuck out as sort of a XR type. But yeah, I don't know. Another because Keith had you do that bird person concept, and I was like, that was kind of him doing it sort of for me, I think. Because I was telling him about the aviac stuff. I was actually, I guess while we're on the topic, I did do so that AI, the Dolly thing. I was like feeding that a bunch of like stuff about like bird people, and seeing what it would kick out because I was like, oh, it'd be like just get like an idea of like a cool bird person or something. And these are some of the ones that I thought were like halfway decent. I kind of like this one. This one's got a cool body shape. This one's got a cool head and the legs and stuff. So I don't know. The only thing with the bird is like the kind of part of the reason, like I said, I like that the lizard person is the tail. So I'd probably want to have some sort of extra limb like that we could add a cool sort of mesmerizing animation to. And I don't think I'd probably want to have the the tail feathers, but I don't know. Like I was watching some of the. I'm just kind of like I had like I said, this has not been fully formed. This idea in my head, but the Dragonflight alpha footage had like the dragon race or whatever the hell they're called. And they had like a cool like the animation for the wings and stuff looked pretty cool. So made me think, oh, that would be, maybe we could do like an aviac race with the wings, even if we don't like have them fly or anything. It would still have that element to it. That would be cool. I don't even know, man. Tentacly. Yeah, it's something that like I said, I haven't like kind of fully formed in my head, so I'm not really able to convey the idea very well right now. Okay. So let's add some feet. What if it was a peacock race? That would be fun. Birdtail. I think, Keith, are you stealing these? Like, what? It's ridiculous, man. It's so many. Thanks, dude. But also, are you stealing them? Gotta start an investigation. Keith's stealing subs and giving them to people. Yeah, man, that's so thin. It's crazy. Like like actually seeing it in 3D. It would. I would like to see it moving with an animation, because that would be interesting. Like, it could actually be really cool. So I'm actually curious to see what it would look like. You know what I could do actually. I could just throw the Highpoly in engine and we could see it. Like I wouldn't even have to wait to do the low poly to see this. I might actually do that. So we could just see it. When I'm John S. Robin Hood of gift subs. Hey John, congrats! You walk in and you get a gift sub. Nice.
Do a barrel roll.
Double barrel roll. MT Gonzo. Thanks for the follow. Let's do this. And a little bit, just so it's like... It's definitely different sculpting something so thin like this. I have to kind of approach it slightly differently. Just be very delicate. Actually, which way is it? Is it which way are the shoulder blades? I always... Now let's go this way. Doesn't matter. It's not gonna be from the side view. I think you can thicken her waist so it's like a Nintendo controller shape, I guess, from the side. Like an ice cream sandwich from the side. Nintendo, like... Oh, wrist? Oh, did you say wrist and I just can't read? Thicken a wrist. Yeah, you did. I can't read. My bad. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna pull this forward a little bit too. Okay. I was gonna push this in too, actually, so really the elbow sticks out like that, sort of. Push that up, kind of transition that into the upper. Oh my goodness. Where's the opacity? I can never find it when I need it. I need to bring the armpit up higher, looks like. Maybe the thighs could go farther out. And oh, I need to. Well, I kind of moved the arms slightly, like the forearms slightly. So that's maybe not the best example. And the calf muscle needs to be a little bit thicker as well. I'm just going to straighten the inside of the thigh, just so it's like a straight line. And then I'll pull this out. And I wanted to bring up the armpit as well. That's not the right tool. So so my plan, what I'll do is I'm gonna just kind of throw this Highpoly, it's even not even that high, in the engine, kind of replacing one of the existing ones just temporarily. So that means I either need to replace one of the three that we have. So the question is, which one do I replace? Because whichever one I do, I won't be able to see by comparison. So I'm thinking maybe, because like if we want to see how it looks compared to the ones that are in there, we can't have that makes sense. So we can't have them both in there to compare them if I have to replace one. So it's like, which one? I'm thinking ogre or gnome, because we have the human guards in there, so I could at least stand next to a human guard and get a comparison. But I was also curious how it would look next to those other races as well. But I mean, I could just throw it in there as static, but I was gonna like throw it on the rig and everything and run around. That's why I was gonna. That's why I was having the dilemma, basically. But you didn't put human female in the other day? No, not yet. It's putting in a new race, like, there's a couple steps to it, and I didn't even have like the hair done or anything, so I just didn't do it yet. That would have been a good thing to do though if I had done that. I just put it in the female slot. Okay, let's add some hands. Just something to placeholder-y. It's a gray. Oh no. Want to believe. Fizby, you didn't put human. Oh, I already read that. Keith, next person who talks gets a gift sub. Was that your first the first thing you said tonight, Keith? Who just got the hail? Sonderbeast. Now you gotta hang out on my streams more often. Now that you're a dude with a thing. Hail yes. Nice. This face is not. Not that it really matters, but just making a head that looks like something, I guess. I hate when I do that. Trim dynamic. Really? Spending way too much time on this. Anyway. So that's a rough approximation of a wood elf for Monsters and Memories. Dude with the thing. Keith, are you part of the M&M team yet? Writing all the Mandrake lore and such? Yeah, Keith is officially part of the team now. We got another one. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save this first of all. Thanks for reminding me to save, guys. Wow. Unbelievable. We'll do. I need to distinguish this as a female as well. So let's just do wood elf.
Quick question. When was the last time you hit save?
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Sonderbeast. Way late, but wood elf. Female. One. Okay. And now we're gonna merge some stuff. Those actually, those arms look really, is this right? That forearms are so long.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. Hey, off is now following. Thanks for the follow. I had no idea there was a command flow. Yeah.
Make it chunkier.
See, now you know all the tricks because you've got a subscription, man. Let's do merge down. Okay, and we'll merge these down. And I want to kind of roll this out slightly. Oh, these arms are not straight either. Damn.
Make it chunkier.
I'm trying. Rotate. Is that your cat in the background of the animation, Sean? No, that's not my cat. That is just a cat I found on the internet, a chonky cat. Oh, you know what else I didn't do? I should probably add like some indication of the breasts. Let's go 80. Oh God, I don't like that. I was going to say, send me the image and I'd add it to some of the cat rooms. No, it's not my cat. I don't have any pets of my own, unfortunately, that we can use. This needs to go in, I think, here, and then it's like the Not that it, again, and not that it's going to show up in the low poly or anything. Oh, shoot. Okay. How are we doing? Does that look like that? Is that, it looks way different without the leaf dress. But I just want to make sure that the shape is correct. It's okay for now, I think. Those feet are really small, but yeah. Okay. That's fine. Let's save this again real quick, and then I'm gonna attempt to see if this let's just do merge visible, and we'll do Little polishy polish. And let's export this. Oh. Let's go to human female. I'll just throw it in here. Uh-oh. Got some cable malfunctions here. Someone posted a cool thing in there. It's large race, tiger, were tiger. That's pretty cool. Tegamir, you watching the stream as well? Is that you? So let's go to a pose and we'll import OBJ. The legs are, I didn't separate the legs. Let me see if we can do that real quick. Oops.
Do a barrel roll.
Okay, let's try that again. Effer. Hello. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I probably should roll the arms out a little bit farther too. get rid of this one and we'll. Oops. So this is a cool thing that ZBrush does. You can make make the whole program see through, so you can see stuff behind it, which is pretty freaking rad. It'd be really cool if Photoshop did that too, honestly. I mean, I guess you don't. Photoshop doesn't really need to do it because you can just fucking bring stuff in. But I don't know. It's a cool feature. I don't know. It's like why wouldn't you have that if just so you can have it, sort of thing. Oh yeah, they will also have fist chunks, I guess. PureRef is good alternative. How's Blender in comparison? Blender is... I use Blender primarily as my primary 3D package, except when I'm sculpting. I still prefer ZBrush. But I think Blender is a pretty dang good alternative. I'm just used to ZBrush. I haven't like spent the time to like learn how to use Blender's sculpting in like a legit way yet, so just let's make the fists too while we're at it, right? Just make the little wrist bone a little more roundy. Yeah, so something like that. Okay, so let's try exporting that again. The waste looks, I don't know. It's probably fine. Kind of defining the knee real quick. And like this thigh area, I probably want this to be more round. It's got this sharp edge to it that I'd probably want to smooth out or something. But I'm not trying to like do something too crazy right this moment. Okay. I could noodle on that for the rest of the night. But progress. Okay, so let's try importing this again. Oh, we got some more biological facts. I love these. What do we got tonight? Let's see. Biological fact: wood elves are compostable. You're not wrong. I do believe that is an accurate fact. Okay. It's not like a perfect fit, but I think it's close enough for getting an idea. Okay, so let's I'm gonna delete that human female, and then we're gonna go, you select the mesh first, then you select the skeleton, and then you go automatic weights. You hit P to parent, and then you do automatic weights. This is higher poly, so it's gonna take a little bit longer, I guess, than I'm used to. John's humor is always on point. That is correct. John's got the jokes. Okay, so let's see what that did. Oh, we got ears still. Let's get rid of those. Okay. You guys want to see some creepy shit, I guess? Let's see how creepy this looks. Timeline is what I want. There you go. That's the wood elf right there. Oh. And I could probably even try and do a UV project from view. Well, that's actually not going to it's not going to show very well. Oh god. Oop. That actually looks cool, like the thigh-high boots. I could see a Wood Elf Bard actually, with those thigh-high boots that you did, Goblin. Look pretty cool. Are humans compostable? Technically, yes. But they make the produce taste funny. We were actually we've been watching Mythbusters a lot lately, and they just did that episode where they got like a car, a nice car, and they put a bunch of pigs in it and let them decompose for like 2 months. So yeah, pigs are also compostable, and it'll ruin the car, according to the Mythbusters. Not too shabby. I believe there is something wrong with her galt, or practice prancing. Now make a T-pose. Well, that's easy. T-pose is the easy part. There, A-pose. Okay, so let's see if we can throw this in engine though. So let's do this. Let's see what happens when we, first of all, save. I need a new folder now. Hang on. Because this is a new race. I don't actually have a folder for Wood Elves yet. Wood Elf. What else we need? Maps. Oh, I should probably maybe restructure some of this stuff as well. Let's delete this folder. That's good enough for now. Okay. Save as Wood Elf. Email 01. Okay. Get rid of this dude. Let's do. Let me get rid of this run animation real quick. Freeze transforms. Let's export this. FBX. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what I want to do. So who are we gonna replace? This is the thing. I think I'm gonna go with the ogre. Let's get rid of the ogre. So let's do this one. And that should be fine. Okay, and do I have this still open? She wears flesh armor. She's made of wood, so she wears wooden armor. But that's her flesh. I can see that tool. I can see what tool? Oh, I remember that one. Just realized you're live. Hey, Justin. Yeah, man. Leather armor is flesh armor. Okay, so if we go to this one here. Show in Explorer. So in theory, I should be able to copy paste this. And it will work like so. So let's do humanoid configure. Okay, that works. My music stopped. I need more music. Morrowind music. Let's do it.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. Wood Elf Ranger was my first tune in EverQuest. Awesome. I never played a Wood Elf, but I spent a lot of time in Kelthin. Like Kelthin and Crushbone, where it was kind of my jam. Okay, so let's go over to our prefabs, make sure, go to Ogre. I'm gonna make sure this stuff is plugged in. Animation presets. Hey, Keith, man, you're a machine. Okay, let's see. I think Ollie's been messing with some of the animation stuff recently, so I don't know what's going on with some things. I don't know if it's working properly or what the deal is there. There's like, where's the attachments? I don't know where the attachments went. Animation, there's nothing special. Oh, here we go. Okay. So forearm attachment, left forearm, left hand, right forearm, right hand. Okay. Let's see if that worked. And I could test this by let's go to, oh, wait, there's another thing I could probably do here. Wood Elf female. Okay, so let's see if we can find the animator for this. It's gonna look a little goofy because she's using the move forward. Let's change this to the human one, maybe. Human run forward. Wait. Yeah. I wonder what that looks like. Okay. Human run forward. Human idle standing. Okay, well, that's good enough. That'll give us an idea. It's gonna look a little weird. Let's pop in the game and see what happens. Getting EverQuest tattoos. when I get some money. Probably EverQuest down the arm. That's so much better, damn. What's so much better, Goblin? Okay, as I'm new to the game, I'm gonna create a new character. Oh, I really like ogre. I'm gonna make an ogre. Oh, it's not doing the character zoom anymore. I don't know what happened there. Okay, well, that just ruined my joke. Let's go join the ogre. Do some fill in later. Not at once. Yeah, I want to. Oh shit! Look at this. Oh my god, it works. And you know what? Actually, Goblin, I don't think this is too thin. I don't think that's too thin. This looks fine to me. I don't know. I don't know if the height is correct though. I think. What's the? Where's my reference? Where the hell's my reference? Reference. This one. So, well, I guess technically on here the female wood elf is about the same, tiny bit shorter, but about the same as the human. So, I guess this is fairly accurate in terms of height. So I think the thinness wouldn't really change much. I forgot to throw a texture on there though. Let me do that real quick. But that doesn't look too thin to me actually. Ogre male. Let's go. Where's materials? Race. Materials. Oh shit. Let's not get some boobies on here. That's not gonna work properly. Where's the ogre one? That's probably more accurate actually. Make him gold and it's a C3PO. I kind of inadvertently made it sort of gold, actually. Actually, it kind of reminds me of iridite models from EQ2. Iridite's white in EQ2. I don't know. I don't remember the lore behind that change. I didn't think it was a good idea. It's difficult to this isn't going to update the. Maybe it's a teeny bit like it kind of looks different with the texture on there. I would probably make the wrists a teeny bit like thicker. Maybe yeah, I don't know. But other than that, I think it's maybe thicken it up slightly from the side view. A teeny bit. But honestly, like overall, I don't think it's too bad. This mace is gigantic though. Oh, I don't want to fall off. right next to this guy. It's hard to. I mean, she's using the ogre run there, but yeah, I don't think that's too bad. So that's a successful. Be kind of fun actually. I should probably, what I could do? I could probably just do this with all the races. Just make a quick sculpt and throw it in game. Because this is pretty quick. Like I did it in like an hour, 2 hours, 2 hours, and I got it in game. So I wonder if it would be worth doing that for all the races, and we can get all of the shapes in. Like it would be still rough, obviously, but we could get them in there, and then it would be easier to like swap them out as we refine stuff. Because like once it's like set up in the engine, what like on the back end and stuff, all I have to do is like copy and paste like one file over, pretty much. So I might actually do that, maybe over the weekend. If I'm able to do that over the weekend, I could do the ogre female, and we already have the and the gnome. I could at least get those going, I think. And I'm like as big as basically a skeleton over here. Let's do a cat. Let's see what the cast animations do. Oh, look at that. Everything works, man. I don't have an attack spell. GM powers. Goblin female is the next skinniest as well. That neck might be a little bit long though. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. I can't wait to see the deep dwarves. Neck is long for sure. Yeah. I can change that. It's pretty long in the concept, but I might have made it. Oh shit. Jerk. Oh, I don't like. We changed the controls. I can't strafe with Q and E anymore. I don't like that. I don't like these new controls. Strafe left. Strafe right. Save and close. Okay. When you keybind stuff, it doesn't remove the old one. So where is toggle auto run, outbound, and auto attack? Let's get out of here. Get out of here. There we go. That's probably a bug. I should report that. The booty is doing. Of course, this is the ogre run again, so it's a little bit weird. But yeah, so let's go over here, against the wall, and we'll pull this up. So can I zoom in more? It's hard to get a 1-to-1, but oops. Where's Epic Pen? So shoulder and top of the neck. Yeah, so it's pretty, this isn't perfect, like 1-to-1. I mean, it's actually kind of close, but I think we should make the neck a little bit shorter anyway. So just a tad though. I do like long necks on stuff. Oh Jesus. So, but yeah, I think maybe a teeny bit shorter neck, and everything else seems okay. Maybe a little bit, I guess. Well, I like it from the side, so I think it just needs to be a little bit thicker from the front. The side view looks good to me. And actually, where it's actually bending right now is not actually where the elbow is on the character, because I didn't move the bones. Because her arms are actually, her forearms are a lot longer than that, but it's a quickie. It's a quickie little example. So, but yeah, when you target something, it would be nice to have a strafe mode after the target. Strafe mode. What do you mean? Like you click on a, I can't even click on that. And then you just start strafing automatically? What is that in response, Keith? What is yes unless Nick already did in response to I don't know if that was a responding to chat or responding to something I said thing. Bug report. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Let's do that. There's no harm in having two, right? User UI issues. Other. Is that a UI thing? Is there like a hotkeys? Maybe it's other. Yeah, I'll go with UI then. When you, let's, reassigning, and writing an essay on with everybody watching. It's weird. Hotkeys. Okay, bug report sent. Oh, I'm so good at this. More devs. Pit of devs. What? So if a dev is sending a bug report, who does the report go to? More devs. It gets outsourced to China. Person who does the coding. Fair point. But isn't there only like 6 of you working on this? There's, I think we're up to 12 now. Actually, Keith is now the 12th member. I guess I understand. Yeah, because like, I mean, someone on the art team can. Did you try unbinding the other keys? Yeah, Nick, I did. I got it to work. So let me turn on. What I did was keybinds. So I set the strafe runs to Q and E, and that worked fine. The only thing it didn't do was unbind auto attack and toggle. So they both still worked. It should have, I think it should have replaced the function rather than just add to it. So Q and E now had I guess Q had 2 functions instead of just one, where I think normally, like, if you're like, okay, I want Q to be this, even if it's already assigned to something, it would then change, you know what I'm talking about. So if that makes sense anyway. And I don't know, maybe we want to have like a warning pop up, be like, hey, by the way, this is already assigned to a thing. That's intended right now? Oh, okay. So you can double up on certain keys. Okay, I didn't know that. I just bug reported it, so I guess if that was intended, then you can close that ticket. Can make it red like EQ. I guess I'm trying to think how I guess that's true for like sense heading and stuff. Didn't well, I guess so. There was like the primary and the secondary though, right? And that's how you had to do in EverQuest, I think. Or I don't remember now. You kind of throw me through a loop. I thought in EQ you had to do like, you have to set the secondary to do the, if you wanted to do like, you know, the sense heading trick. But I guess technically it'd probably work with the other things, so maybe we can do a prompt to unbind existing. Yeah, maybe something like that, because like, I guess in my case, like, I was trying to replace, I wasn't trying to double up. So I guess if there was like some option that lets you decide, that would be easier. But I guess you can just unbind stuff too, if we just want to just have it that way. I train tracking and foraging by doubling up binds. Yeah, I did it for sense setting. I totally forgot about that. So that makes sense actually, now that you mention it. But yeah, I was trying to get rid of the thing. So I guess I could, if I had sense setting, I would put it there. Oh, the Wood Elf does the sit. What other animations do we have that I could do? I don't really have a lot of other ones. And being a cleric, I don't have the two. I like the two-handed attack, but I don't have a two-handed weapon. So I kind of like how big this weapon is on the Wood Elf as well, but it's also kind of like almost anime-ish as well. Keith with the gift sub again. You've gotten 16 gift subs. You trying to hit a number there? Trying to get 20? Trying to get 50? Got a lot of the devs here. Loving the work so far, y'all. You're all doing an amazing job. Thanks. Okay, so anyway, this is good. This works. We can stop running around it like this now. Camp. That didn't take too long. Well, I guess I only got half an hour left, so not like a ton I can do. I could show you guys the troll. Goblin, are you still around? Let's go open. Actually, let's save this just to be safe. Let's open the troll. Look at this guy. He's all trolling and stuff. I like the stance of the wood elf. Makes me like the proportions. The standing idol. That's the human. I made like a new human idol, but it works good on the elf too. And we could just make that the elf one and then give the human something else actually. But I was thinking about the troll as well, and I know I forgot to add the spikes on him. He's got his little spikes. And I'm wondering how we want to do that. And there's the kind of two ways I think we could do it. I mean, there's three, I guess, but two that makes the most sense are, one, we have it be an extra thing, similar to how we have the ears, like a separate unconnected piece of geometry. And the way we're now doing the ears and the hair, at least last time I talked to Ollie, it's going to be separate, like an attachment, like a robe or something that is tacked on. So my theory is that if we did the spikes separate like that, then we could turn them off if we wanted to when you put on a certain piece of clothing or something that might cover it up. Like a helmet, or maybe if we wanted to, if they put on the robe, we want to turn it off for the robe or something, then we'd have more control over that. Or the other option is to just have them be separate geometry, but kind of on there as part of the body, so we can't turn it off easily, and we'll just like roll with it and have the spikes do what spikes do. Those are kind of my two options that I was kind of thinking of that would work for that. Oh, I have an updated model as well on the drive with a texture-ish. I think I have that in here. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. Is this an older version? Oh, maybe it's a different version that I didn't. I was looking at that one you did though. I don't know where I put it. It's probably in my downloads somewhere here. I could, yeah, I'll dig that up. I don't need it right now. I'm not using that right now, but it was just an example as to my idea, basically. Thick boy. Yeah. it feels weird about having the kind of like bean shaped stomach. I want to make it more round like the ogres, but or like bring it down or something. I don't know. But what would that look like? We just did that. It's in the front. I don't know. That doesn't actually look. I don't know if that looks any good. But yeah. The ogre is, or the troll I should say, is one of the other ones I had started troll fight over to win. I like the feet though. The feet look good. I like this kind of chow calf. The calf that goes into the foot, like the cankle thing, kind of works on him. But yeah, troll fupa. What else do I have in the works? What did I do with the Ashira stuff? I had thrown these in here and I haven't. You're talking about making the Ashira leg, the thighs thinner. These are not. These are too high poly, I think. I decimated these. Yeah, these probably wouldn't be great to throw in there. But yeah, I was gonna get on these as well in the near future. Yeah, the hips thinner. Oh, okay. Okay. So just like this, you're talking about just doing something like this where it's like less bowed out like that or something. Let's open the. Where's the jackal? There it is. Gotcha. Yeah, I can do that. Looking at it now, it definitely is. I haven't looked at the Ashira in a bit. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I can do that. But what I did want to do, let's do this. I got this. I don't need that part. Based on the lore, they should have the same head, right? Or the same looking head. Like the concept is different than what the jackal currently looks like in game. But from my understanding, they would look kind of the same, right? And that's my assumption, but while I have you here and while we're talking about it, I'm curious what you think about that, if that's because yeah, I don't know, you had the concept was different, so I wasn't sure if you had something else in mind or whatever. Because I kind of like I guess I kind of really do like the jackal head that we ended up with on this. The ears are different though, so And we could have all the proportions the same, just use that. I think we can play with Geo and get the shape of the concept. Kind of reuse a bit. Yeah, I mean, I can try and morph this one into the concepts version and see what it looks like. But I was also kind of digging the look of just straight up putting this head on the body kind of thing. But I actually haven't done it until just now, so I don't know if it would look weird or not. So. I forgot the teeth, but that's fine. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm kind of out of this one's done. Kind of out of stuff for the night. Anything else I do would be kind of starting something new, which I don't have time to do, so I'm just kind of noodling right now for another couple minutes before I call it. Can you pull the concept up real quick? I think it's a good 80%. Yeah, let me find it. The biggest thing, like, that is different. I mean, the head of the shape of the head is way different, and this is actually really cool. But like what was weird to me was where's this reference? Jackal, nope. Was the bottom lip kind of goes in, so like at least on this one it goes in under. I guess that's like the kind of the jowly sort of side mouth thing. I guess we could do that. That's kind of already there actually in the texture now that I'm looking at it. Let's get rid of this guy. And this guy. And that. It's kind of got it already, so I guess the big, and honestly, like you can totally get that look with this mouth already with just the animation. If you just push it in, it's going to look a little bit weird because the texture on the top of the mouth will show through. So, but yeah. Maybe thinning out the snout for the female and pushing the ears back. Yeah, doing the ear thing is like if you're cool, like because I like the head, like the shape of the head and how it looks, and that's what I'd like to keep. And if you're cool, if you just like if you want to change minor things and move the ears and stuff, but you're cool with like using that head, I'm totally down. Like and we can, narrow that snout and stuff. That's easy stuff. But yeah, I'm just like really digging the angles on the head and stuff just really work really well in my opinion. This is actually a really good contender for like a playable race, to be honest with you, like the way it's coming out. Yeah, man. I think it looks really cool. I'd play an Ashira at this point. Shoot. Especially if they can do the things that we know they can do, which I don't think we can say. I don't think it's public knowledge, so I won't say. But yeah, that'd be hella cool. That looks dope. Those higher poly models heads look so good though. Shame can't use it. One looks like a jackal, the other looks like an Egyptian god. Push the back of the head out and bam. How far was it on? Yeah, I need like an extra loop here to I did this. Just connect these. Oh, come on, man. It's right there. Why can't you just merge like a good thing? If we get rid of this guy, dissolve, and then we do this. We have good topology, and we have more to work with. Bam. How's that? Maybe that actually needs to be kind of reworked a little bit, but it's for now it gets the shape. Pull out the back of the neck too. The whole back, like. Oh. I guess push this one in and have these kind of come out more. Bam. So it's less cranium and more structure of the head. They can shoot Kamehameha waves, FYI. I don't think so. I think this... I don't know if this is... If that's too much. But on the... It looks like it comes out like... Right there, so that's what I was doing. It's like the whole head is kind of swoopsy, like that, and then like that. Maybe the neck, the front of the neck comes forward a little bit. Oh, it doesn't like that. pull out the loop below. Right, sort of mid neck. And I think it's good. Pull this one out like that. You just want it to have like a, you don't want the indent, I guess. Just like whoosh, instead of a like that. Gotcha. Yeah, that looks cool. I think just need to, yeah. Ship it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just I could throw this in the engine real quick too. We'll just run around as a high poly body with a low poly head. Yeah, man, this looks cool. Okay, so let's do that. I feel like this one kind of looks, well, actually, the one that we just did looks more female to me, so I'll probably just take this one and probably maybe narrow some of the features here and then make some of the thickers here more blocky, like make the nose a little bit bigger or something, just slightly. But okay, yeah, that looks cool. Let me get rid of this dude's head as well. Destroy it. He needs a thicker neck, but yeah, I won't get through all this tonight or anything like that, but this is a good start. Yeah. Cool. Gasp. Twins. They're twins. I can use the tail too. This is a good tail. I'll just stick it on the Ashira model. Probably just leave it just make it a little bit wider. And just I'll probably just leave it straight out like this or something. Well, maybe it won't. Might be easier. I'm just worried about like topology, depending on. It'd probably be better to actually have it like this, so that I can do the topology properly for when the tail is down. Because I imagine the tail is going to be in a more downward orientation most of the time. So. But yeah, that's cool. And I could probably use his legs too, to be honest with you. What's the word? Cannibalizing this poor jackal. It's like 20% done already, right there. Frankenstein. Well, I mean that's the way to work, man. Like, that's what we do in my work a lot. Like, because a lot of the stuff we make is very similar to one another. So, we straight up just like Frankenstein stuff together. Works. Might have to mess with the topology of this one a bit though, because he's probably going to be doing more stuff with these legs than the regular jackal does. So kicks and so forth, you know. But we'll get there.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. Let's bring these all the way down here, and I'll just. Oh, that won't mirror. I'm not. That should work. What the heck? Well, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock anyway. So I'll save this though. This is good stuff here. Let's save this as number 2. Number 2. Kid Bash. Dismembering the jackal for science. It'll be fine. Jank is part of it. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a line that I like to make sure we keep on one side of. But so far we're doing good. But anyway, like I said, 9 o'clock is usually my usual stop time. And as I'm kind of like, you know, not really in the middle of anything, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. I want to thank Keith for all the gift subs. Dude's on fire. He's rolling. I think Keith might have won the Mega Millions already, and he's just spending it. And thanks for everybody for hanging out. It's pretty cool. We got. We didn't like get stuff done, but like it's really cool to throw something quickly together and get it in engine really quickly and kind of feel it out. So that's a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna do that more often actually. That really worked out. So I think like I said, I'm going to probably try and throw like a lot of the other races together, the player character races. Just do like pretty quick sculpts and throw them on a rig and throw them in game, and we'll see how it goes. Because it's pretty easy to, once it's all set up in game, it's a lot easier to just replace the mesh quickly compared to making something new and, you know, setting it up for the first time, because there's like some stuff I need to set up in the back end for that. But yeah, so thanks again, guys. I'll catch you guys next week. I guess today's Thursday, right? So Tuesday, I'll be back and doing more stuff, and I'll see you guys then.